after the horrific and deadly crash of that medical jet in Philadelphia, in the air for only a minute. What we've now learned about that plane, the cockpit voice recorder was not working and likely hadn't worked for years. Here's Whit Johnson.
Tonight, the NTSB releasing new details on that deadly medical jet crash in Philadelphia that killed 7 people. Investigators revealing there were no distress calls received from the flight crew. The aircraft plunging to the ground at a 22-degree angle, bursting into flames on impact.
It was a very steep angle at which that aircraft came down.
The badly damaged cockpit voice recorder found 8 feet below the impact site. The NTSB saying the black box did not record the accident flight, and it had likely not been recording audio for several years. The agency saying the medevac Learjet was in the air for about a minute before the crash. At least 24 people injured, nearby homes catching fire. All 6 people on board that jet killed, including a mother and her 11-year-old daughter who had just received care at a nearby hospital. Another person killed in a car on the ground. And David, the NTSB says the plane also had a ground proximity warning system, which is now being examined to determine if any additional data can be recovered. David?
Whit Johnson with us tonight. Whit, thank you. Now to the Idaho college murders case. There's breaking news in this case tonight. Newly released text messages and the 911 call from the home. Here's Kayna Whitworth.
Tonight, bombshell evidence in the case against Bryan Kohberger. For the first time, we're seeing transcripts of the chilling text between the 2 surviving roommates on the night their 4 friends were stabbed to death near the University of Idaho. In a newly unsealed motion, prosecutors asking a judge to admit text messages between those roommates as evidence. After one allegedly saw the suspect in a mask, she tries unsuccessfully to reach the victims, then texts her other roommate in the basement. "I'm freaking out right now." No, it's like a ski mask almost. The second survivor texting back, "Run, down here." It's unclear what happened next, but about 6 hours later, one of the survivors tries but can't reach the victim's phone by text. Texting Kaylee Gonzalez, "Please answer." Texting Madison Mogan, "Are you up?" Just before noon, more than 7 hours after the murders, that 911 call is placed by one of the roommates, saying, one of the roommates who's passed out and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up. Telling the dispatcher, "Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night." And David, Bryan Kohberger's lawyers who say he is innocent claim these exchanges are hearsay. Now, both of these surviving roommates are expected to be critical witnesses at the trial in August. David.
Kayna Whitworth on this case again tonight for us. Kayna, thank you. Tonight we are hearing from Pope Francis for the first time since he was rushed to the hospital 3 weeks ago. Tonight here you will hear his voice, and it moves so many who were gathered right there in St. Peter's Square. Terry Moran at the Vatican again tonight.
Tonight, Pope Francis speaking to the faithful in St. Peter's Square and to the world. This marks the first time his voice has been heard since he was hospitalized 3 weeks ago. "I thank you from the bottom of my heart," the 88-year-old Francis says in his native Spanish, his voice thin, barely louder than a whisper. "For your prayers for my health from the square." The audio message surprising the crowd. "I accompany you from here," Francis continues, sounding short of breath, then giving his blessing, saying,
Que Dios lo bendiga. Y que la Virgen cuide. Gracias.
"May God bless you and the Virgin protect you. Thank you." And from those gathered here, as people do every night to pray for the Pope's recovery, a round of applause.
Today's medical report was encouraging. The Pope's doctors say that he remains stable, he continues his treatments, and given that, they see no reason for another medical update until Saturday. But Francis's condition and his prognosis remains guarded, and his doctors have given no indication at this point of when the Pope might be able to leave the hospital. David?
All right, Terry Moran at the Vatican again tonight for us, Terry, with Pope Francis and his voice. Meantime, tonight, the stunning military accident, 2 South Korean fighter jets mistakenly bombing a village during a military training exercise. A massive explosion rocked a residential neighborhood just miles from the heavily armed North Korean border. The jets dropping 8 500-pound bombs. An official tonight saying a pilot likely entered the wrong coordinates. When we come back here tonight, an adult who died testing positive for measles here in this country. We'll have more. Also, Dolly Parton's heartfelt message tonight for so many of you at home following the death of her husband. And look at this, the dramatic images tonight. Police racing to save a 12-year-old boy who nearly drowned in a hotel pool. How they saved him here in just a moment. Tonight, health officials say an adult who died tested positive for measles. In Lea County, New Mexico, the second deadly case of measles in the U.S. this year. The unvaccinated adult testing positive for measles but not seeking treatment. 10 cases reported in the county so far. First responders racing to save a 12-year-old boy who nearly drowned in a hotel pool in Warren, Michigan, outside Detroit. A police officer racing to the pool, immediately beginning CPR for 2 minutes, reviving the child. The boy has since been released from the hospital. When we come back here tonight, the heartfelt message from Dolly Parton tonight. You'll want to hear this. Dolly Parton thanking fans across the country tonight for the outpouring of support. Married to Carl Dean for 60 years, he died this week. Dolly says, just know it has meant the world to me. He is in God's arms now, and I'm okay with that. I will always love you. When we come back here tonight, the dog lost, found, lost again, found. Well, you have to see how this ends in a moment.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Chewy.
Finally tonight, the lost dog found over and over again. Tonight in New Orleans, a lost dog for months is now safe, thanks to an entire community coming together. Meet Scrim. They believe he's about 3 years old, a West Highland White Terrier mix, and a lot of energy. He was a rescue, and while with a foster family caring for him at their home, he ran away.
Oh my God, it's Scrim.
Immediately, the team at the nonprofit Zeus's Rescues began searching, asking the New Orleans community to help. Neighborhoods joining the search party. So many community detectives documenting Scrim on their phones, sharing them online, Scrim right in the distance there, even catching him on a home security camera walking through the snow, but always disappearing before they could get to him. And then 6 months later, Scrim was found in a parking lot. They took him right to the vet, and he was okay. 1 month later, back with another foster family, Scrim escaped again, tearing through this screen, jumping out, the home security camera catching the moment. You guessed it, the New Orleans community helping to find him again, sharing a map online filled with his sightings.
That's absolutely Scrim.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And 3 months later, he was found. Tonight, Scrim is now safe and in his forever home, running right to the front door, but thankfully, not right through it. And right here tonight.
Hi, David. I'd like to introduce you to Scrim.
Michelle Cheremy, the founder and director of Zeus's Rescues, Scrim's forever home.
He has managed to capture the hearts of the entire city of New Orleans, and in the process assembled this amazing recovery team of people from all different walks of life who work tirelessly day and night to keep him safe.
Now safe, and leading up to this year's Mardi Gras, a parade float made in Scrim's honor. This little dog, the talk of the town.
Have a great night, and thank you, New Orleans.
New Orleans is just too much fun. He wanted to be out in the town. We're just glad Scrim is home and safe. I'm David Muir. Here's a look at what's coming up tomorrow night on 2020. Good night.
Friday night, David Muir reporting.
We take you inside two cases. A mother just 19 years old.
She was trying to protect her daughter. She fought like hell.
Another case into a beloved teacher, her whole future ahead of her.
Mysterious cold cases.
It gives you chills even today.
Yes.
What links both of those cases is the cutting-edge forensic technology inside this lab.
It sounded like science fiction at the time.
Can they be solved?
You'll see it unfold right here as they unmask the killer in both cases.
Catching the Killers 2020, Friday on ABC.